Today, we're recreating a map found tucked inside Elowen's diary. A map of the forest paths that never stayed the same. Welcome back to my cozy corner of the woods. I'm Jessica, and this is Craft Plus Lore, where every handmade piece carries a story from the lost woods. For this project, you'll need aged paper, an ink pen, and a few scraps to build a layered junk journal page. Simple tools for a map that was anything but simple. Elowen tried to map the paths from the lost woods. When I entered her cabin, I noticed there were crumpled up pieces of paper all over. They were all over the tables and floors. It seemed they were carelessly thrown in frustration and desperation. Picking up a couple that were covered in decades worth of dust, I opened one to see what she may have wrote. That's when I noticed they were maps of the same place, of course. But the paths, well, the paths, they were different. The writing was frantic, but she wrote on one of them how the paths were shifting subtly at first. She didn't even notice. She claimed she thought she was going crazy, but then, well, then they started shifting more boldly the deeper she ventured into the forest. Elowen wrote in her diary that the forest wasn't trying to confuse or harm her. No, she didn't feel that way at all. She wrote she was told this through the rustling of the leaves through the wind. The forest told her it was just guiding her somewhere she didn't yet understand. But she will understand. Oh, yes, she will understand soon enough. I decided to sketch the paths the way Elowen had described them in her writings, the looping, the twisting, the overlapping. They were never quite the same twice. The scenery? Oh, the scenery would stay the same for the most part. The big tree with the path on the right would now be the big tree with a woodpecker hole, and the path on the left, the path that led her to the cliff overlooking a small lake, would now lead her to a big lake. When she passed by the big boulders, they were rearranged in a slightly different color, no matter what path she took. She wrote one of the paths would shift as she was walking on it and looped her back around to her cabin. Yeah, no matter what path, left or right, or how far along she walked, she wrote one day she decided to walk the path, taking turns unexpectedly, and stayed out all night. But the path? Well, the path had led her to her final destination, her own cabin. Some travelers say the forest rearranges itself to protect what it holds dear. Others believe it shifts to test those who enter. Us locals? Well, us locals believe they are both right. You see, the forest does have secrets. Oh, yes, it holds a lot of secrets that it does not want us to know. And it does shift to test those who enter the lost woods, just to make sure you are not there to harm it. If the forest accepts you, oh wow. If the forest accepts you, then you will always be protected. But if the forest rejects you, well, a rejected person is just gone, to never be seen or heard from again. Elowen, she wrote she was not afraid of the shifting paths. No, she thought they were communicating with her. When I found Elowen's maps in her cabin, I noticed that some of them were torn around the edges. Yeah, I also noticed that there were writings on them as well. So I am adding little details I believe she would have added. Of course, a torn edge, some writing. Maybe, just maybe, she drew a compass that never pointed north. I noticed some of her maps had black edges, almost like she tried to burn them. But there was one symbol. Yes, she did draw one symbol, meaning a clearing she had visited often. When I found the diary, this map was torn in the middle. The missing half? Well, the missing half was never recovered. But Elowen wrote one last note on the back. The path will show itself when I'm ready. And here it is, a map of the shifting paths, a little piece of the forest's mystery captured on paper. If you've enjoyed this blend of crafting and folklore, let me know in the comments down below. Next time, we'll explore another object from Elowen's diary and another secret the forest has been keeping.